Hello, I'd like to introduce you to the Bacchus Academy at Home Wine Masterclasses. My name's Jenny Polack. I'm also known as the Wine Witch, and I'm a wine educator for over 20 years now. So, when you actually enroll for the any of the Bacchus at Home Wine Masterclasses, you will receive a box like this in your mail. In here will be, firstly, this is how to get the most out of your tasting. So some instructions, more or less suggestions of what to make of them. Then you have your bottles. These are all 50ml samples. They're double wrapped just to make sure that they get to you nice and securely. And they're all numbered. So this is Bacchus Academy, Aging Victorian Shiraz Masterclass, and this is Wine 4. So you just go through and unwrap them. And I won't unwrap them all now, I'll just leave them like that so you can actually see and explain to you the rest of the process. So once you actually, in this sheet you also have a login to Bacchus Academy Google Classroom. On that Google Classroom there'll be some downloads. Here is a wine tasting match so you can put your glasses on. You will also find a list of wines. So this one, you will have a choice. You don't actually have to download the list of wines. You can decide to actually do the tasting blind and then download it afterwards. So in this case, because I know what they are, I've already downloaded it. And then notes on the actual wines. So it's not just on the wines themselves, it's on the wine theme as well. So Aging Victorian Shiraz, there's 3 different wines, 3 different areas. So you've got notes on aging wines, you've got notes on the different regions. There's also notes on the different vintages and how the wines are made. So it's your choice. You may decide to read all this through first and then go through the tasting, or you may decide to do the blind and then go do your reading. Option is yours, or you could even do both. Now, next step is to set up your tasting area. Okay, we are back. Now, I have chosen to use, you can choose whichever glass you want, but this is the International Standard Tasting Glass. It's a very good glass, but I've chosen to use a slightly bigger one. Reason being, these are red wines, I want them to just be a little bit more open in the glass. So, put your tasting glasses on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as they are on the mat. I have a spittoon. You may decide to use a spittoon or you may not. Then I suggest very strongly a water glass and water. This is to clean your palate in between, to make sure that you're tasting accurately. It's your decision how you do it. So all the wines, I'll now pour my wines into the glasses. Now they are all sealed and they're sealed very well to the top. I'm just going to pour about a half glass because I actually don't taste with need much to taste, but it's your decision how much you actually use. So wine number 2, and lucky last, wine number 6. Now the other thing you need to make sure that you have, if you want to do this seriously, is some paper and a pen so you can write notes. You may decide just to write them on the page where the wines are, or you may decide you might have a journal where you write all your notes in. It is your option, your decision. This is your masterclass. And if you decide to do it at 8 o'clock in the morning, if you decide to do it at 3 o'clock in the morning, again, you're not tied to any timing with any other people. So, these wines are, I've ordered them according to, these are both, the wines are both from Foxy's Hangout. These 2 are the Yarra Yering Underhill Shirazes, and these 2 are the best in 0. Now, the one on the left of each pair is the 2017. So I'm going to actually go through really quickly and just do a comparison on the three different vintages, wines. So that gives me the three different regions and three wines. So if I just look at them, they are as I would expect them to be, nice and bright and purple, so they're showing very youthful. At the moment they're still a little bit quiet on the nose. Ooh, with the exception of the best, which is actually quite open. Some lovely ripe fruit there. Now 2017 as a vintage across the board was pretty good for all of these. A bit cooler for the Foxies. So I'm getting a little bit of that leafy character coming out. Beautiful, fresh, alive fruit, very soft tannins. This is lovely drinking now. Lots of ripe raspberries in there, but great acid structure. It's just holding on to all the flavours in my mouth. Now, if you're used to tasting, no problems. If you're not so used to tasting, I strongly suggest have a sip of water in between to clean out your palate. And the underhill is still a little bit closed. On the palate, again, lovely fresh ripe fruit. I suspect this has got a touch more use of wood in it. Afterwards I will go through and look at the notes and see if my palate is reflecting it correctly. Super amazing length, the flavours are still hanging around now. And again, that beautiful acid line, which is what I would expect from any cool climate wine, but particularly Shiraz included. And the bests, very soft tannins in all of them, the bests included. It's a little bit full of body, but none of these are big gutsy wines like say a Barossa Shiraz, all much more elegant. Okay, if we go back to, now I'm going to do the two Foxies wines in comparison with each other. So it's the 2017 versus the 2013. So this is Foxies Hangout, is a small vineyard down on Mornington Peninsula. They make some great wines, and there are a couple of great guys who run it, two brothers. Now, the colour on the second one is surprisingly, hasn't got many brown tinges in it. It's looking still maybe just heading into the garnet, which leads me to think this wine's going to stay around a lot longer. On the nose, it started to lose a little bit of its primary fruit. And it's just filled out a little bit more in the palate, a little bit fuller bodied, so not as light-bodied as the 17, but also a little bit more structured, a little bit of tannins. But I would happily put that in the cellar for another 5+ years. Now, of the Underhill. So Yarra Yering Underhill, planted by Dr. Bailey Carradis. The 2017 is made by Sarah Crowe, and the 2006 is actually made by Dr. Carradis himself. So this is showing some age. It's starting to get some leathery cooked plums and generally riper looking fruit, but this is the aged character coming through. And that follows through onto the palate, so you can go through and see the difference. Again, fantastic length. Now, when we go through to the bests, Best was one of the oldest vineyards in Australia. They've got vines dating back to the 1800s. And they've had about 3 owners all in their existence, so very consistent. This is the Best Bin Zero, so this is their, of the bin wines, their top Shiraz. And this has got a little bit of primary fruit, but a lot more dried and a bit of spice character coming through there. It's beautiful. Now what I forgot to say is this is a 2000s, vintage 2000s, so 17 years difference. Okay, I've just given you a quick look at how you could do this. If I was being very serious, I would now go back and look at all the notes, because in the notes it has each vintage, the vintage years. So each vintage, it has also the notes on the wines, and it has the notes on the regions. So I would go back and then read the notes and do a comparison. I've been lucky enough to be able to get the notes from the winery themselves, so some very much generosity on their behalf. And if I still had some left, I'd enjoy them over whatever I was having for dinner. So, okay, I'm going